Yeah, elevation has its back. When I actually printed out the state that we've got, what I like about this, the structure of the your signature. No. It looks like 10-year-olds out there. Still, I don't know. I can feel it.
Actually, just the green light and red light is on.
Hey, how are you? I don't want to do that. No.
Oh no.
Well, she didn't tell me to.
What's up, Jawa? Did you have fun? Yeah. Just told me she was gonna run the case, so I lost it.
She didn't tell me.
Maybe somebody can give stuff. He had his fellow taking pictures. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I do. I do. That's in the mix.
And then we have our first hand account.
Text me. Or times get dressed.
Yeah, gotta call times like that. Yeah. Rick's gonna be about 10 minutes late. You gotta give me a ride because somebody forgot me again. Maybe she leave me a letter. 3 weeks. Third time's a charm. I told you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it'll probably get. I don't know.
I guess we're doing the first, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know better.
Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah, like our recognition.
Okay, we got 6:30. Pledge of allegiance, please. Moved on us. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
The United States of America. Stand. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wish to announce that the 48-hour notice as required under the Open Public Meetings Act was emailed to the Asbury Park Press, the Co-Star, and the New Co-Star on December the 7th of 2023. That a copy has been placed on the bulletin board in the borough office, and that a copy has been filed with the municipal clerk. As a courtesy to the public, this meeting may be attended via Zoom. If for any reason the Zoom portion of this meeting fails or is disconnected, the in-person meeting will continue and action can and will be taken. Mr. Noble? Here. Mr. Gubitosi?
Here.
Mr. Weber?
Here.
Ms. Mahoney?
Here.
Mayor Fox?
Here. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our 14th meeting of the year. We're going to go out of order a little bit here and do the presentations and bids. There seems to be an objection back there to that. The recognition we'd like to do with the presentation is really around our lifeguards, a number of our lifeguards. The safety and security of our residents and visitors is the most important responsibility we have as leaders in this municipality. 2 Sundays ago, a young man was pulled from the ocean on Newark Avenue, and immediately the guards from both Newark Avenue and Kent beaches snapped into action. These 6 leaders took the training they received recently in CPR and saved a life. The respondent was brought to the hospital, came off the respirator the following Monday, and was released on Tuesday. You're all very much a credit to our community, and we have a proclamation we're going to read. So if you could come up here, please. Stand and be. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So Jake took the anchor. No. Okay, this is a proclamation recognizing the Bradley Beach lifeguards. Whereas it has come to the attention of the governing body that the Bradley Beach lifeguards exhibited exemplary conduct and outstanding life-saving efforts in an emergency involving a beach goer that occurred last week. And whereas if it had not been for the immediate and skilled response of these lifeguards and responding emergency medical crews, a life may have been lost. And whereas their heroism and bravery demonstrated by the lifeguards is representative of the skill and bravery of all Bradley Beach lifeguards, police, and first aid members on and off duty at the scene of an emergency that day. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the mayor and council of the borough of Bradley Beach recognizes and praises the following lifeguards for their meritorious performance and life-saving actions undertaken in the rescue of Mr. Frank Scarpiello on Sunday, July 14th, 2024. Jake Neilstein, Joseph Pollock, Isabella Santucci, Ellen Cunniff, that's right, it's Elaine, isn't it? Elaine, we'll have to fix that. William Setti, Patrick Shamrovich, and Jason Gassman. Congratulations, everybody. And again, thank you all, and I'm sure we have parents and friends in the audience here. And we should all be very proud of these folks and the few folks that weren't here. We couldn't make it tonight, but we very much appreciate the work you all have done to get these folks performing the way they perform. So again, thank you all. Thank you. Yeah, you all don't need to feel compelled. Why don't you go celebrate and have a good time? Okay, the next item on the agenda, hopefully we'll be able to get through it quicker than 45 minutes, is the executive session. We had to put that in the front because we do have our attorney, the affordable housing attorney, joining us. So I'll make a motion to go into executive session resolution 2024-157 to discuss litigation personnel and contractual matters.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay.
I would go hang on the light. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah. That's. It was warm upstairs. My sister-in-law had a suite. I mean, my sister and so there's one of the brothers went out there. She had a book. She's making things. She's yeah, you know, in pretty much band and so yeah, straightened up. He was a couple of years ago. He was 6. I don't know if no, local was always. Was your son? No, the daughter. Yeah, that was a couple years old. Yeah, yeah. Yes, I do want to go. And bring that up. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely like 5 or 6.
You had 7 products. Or its isolation is the best.
So, you know, when you get a lot of complications, I just want to know it's like okay, I was stressed. They had special air. Where's that from? In person. It's like I don't actually think it was not all the work. Take care of after 4 years ago, and the boss of sure they have to put it throwing away about $3,000 to get a suit. You're in a can. I mean,
I spoke to you.
I get my wife's Irish.
That's in 3 minutes.
If they can change things, they will.
No, they are supposed to. My house, you were captain, that's right.
Yeah, that's not, that's not displacing. Y'all just hold them on, it's, you know, the hopes that they don't. Contract.
And I did call.
If I tell them the Humane Society was better, it's. Oh, because if they're coming over, free of cost. So they need that.
I called her and I said.
Because they're covering here.
She can.
Correct.
Is exactly right. Because they are. Because they're a free service.
This is not where she's.
Which is concerned for transportation and actually sheep on the back. We changed them and they call.
Yes, I mean, even though we flagpole.
She told me to get, she said,
You got those things to worry about.
Most town law.
A lot of people. I see.
so you deal with
There's
it.
some questions that are sort of that's there. And so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, that's a,
Really?
yeah, but the shredding material, still.
No, but with the heat, yeah.
Someone has to check on it, it's like.
The club had, maybe custom matrix and more than.
They, you know, told. Hey, Steve, or call, something might work. How you doing? Good.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
I understand that, but then, people are gonna open it because the rate's going there every day.
Oh.
I mean, and now that was what I kept saying, so I get it when you can.
That's the last place that wants to be. My wife's like, I gotta go. I'm like, oh, it's not so.
Yeah.
2 hours, yeah.
He dragged me.
I just wanna make sure.
Mayor Sullivan. Oh,
Oh, he did? Cause I was gonna say,
no, he forwarded.
oh, okay. You got it. That's really right. Even if I get a heat on at the end. I don't wanna let them know it's not.
Usually we forward that to, so he forwarded me to the administrator and I told him to talk to me.
Oh, the administrator too? Without getting one.
Well, maybe we don't have to wait.
Yeah, they're not, generally something like that.
Yeah. Storage.
Storage.
Of those region.
I thought later on myself. So I noticed an email from him with a voice message.
One shed, two shed.
And basically, he put it there, it seems like.
It's on mission.
That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know. You can't catch it. That's what I'm saying. You can't catch it. It's not open. That's all I want to say.
Or.
You know,
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a badge.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
Lots of them. Lots of them.
That's why you get the cheap. Still keep the same dance number. Though. I work for other tires. I work for we get that. You're absolutely right. They're expensive.
They did a rush. I got a song for you here too. You know,
The kid getting that close, they're worried. Kids don't.
yeah, he did reach out.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
Stuff, and I
This thing was
really
pretty
just rely on getting rid of the dirt.
Yeah.
One of those, dark sides like this,
Summer's all right.
so much work.
Summer's all right.
Yeah, great. We're real happy where we're at right now. We renovated 414. So already, we got it the whole block, man. It's just knocking out. We had my house for over 30 years.
Yeah, 34.
My grandparents lived on everything.
I can you imagine? I know. Oh, no. Nice and cool in here, right? Yeah.
We live up there.
Fred Morty.
Fred Morty. I had nice information there.
Actually, I'll do a side job. I'm a tired trouble. I'll do a side job. I'm dealing with synagogue. Well, they're pretty involved.
Oh, yeah, don't want to come again. I think, yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so you can do that. That's where we have mattresses and couches.
Yeah, just take that thing.
Well, I live in Baltimore, but I do have. Yeah. I have to get tax bill or. Trucks. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I was.
It's not behind the gate.
The title here. They're both me. They're both me, so that's.
I don't want to make it right.
Yeah, my wife.
I just.
I was so I get president so I can space lease. So I was always always more than
How long have you been out?
I retired 20 about There's almost around with everything. She's not go for Next week. Yeah. Pretty much like. That and I was just searching for actions that yeah.
It's actually. My son, really is. The members know.
What? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right. You know, that's a little bit of a hype, you know, every time it's a tragedy. Very similar. And they're yeah, they were so feel like the member guests it's later this weekend. So my buddy we were on the way this we're out. So booked I booked Thursday in Madison and we booked Saturday but they don't because he doesn't want it's really like wrong.
I mean, or a house.
You know, it's really like I went last year. For me, I'm probably early century. So you guys Good, yeah. Yeah, just stay with us.
I went this morning, yeah. I was caught up in the dream. No, I don't want to. Yeah. But I have a big no, this is how you figure that out. Yeah, I already filled out the whole. Yeah. I mean, if it's possible, I commented on there, right?
I don't get.
Yeah, I think I commented this, because I don't even know, like, even to know that. What if that comes to get committed, right? Right? Or how do you know, I mean, if he mentioned it's possible to food, maybe, but if this has to take forever, right? So we can, and we'll have everything that are. Yeah. It's out, it's in time, so that. Oh, well, that is true. I mean, he didn't. What else? Yeah, and so we're not long enough. Well, 12 years later, he just because it was all involved. Or a mediator at this almost looked like they didn't know that thing with me. She's renovating the house in Trent River. And she is teachers, is still off right now. And pretty much been coming to my house all week long. Dr. UCS does not. So yeah, Tom's playing volleyball, so. Yeah.
Yes, I never right.
He's a middle so, yeah, a hitter. Can't hold back and see it has to be on. Well, that's what the red light is. I mean. We can't all put a bunch of lots of last time I've been talking to you. I know. Do we sign it here? Yes. Yeah, that is why I have to be my notes and I picture on it. I'm ready. No, they don't do it. I don't stand in it. You know, yes. So not too late. I know. I don't know if this thing. Yeah, I mean, I came in will be the next started. So that's all. It's nice town. I should do it also. And these kids, like my kids, not babies.
So fast, Bob,
we gave them last night, but.
if you ask teachers, they'll remember. Because we were losing against the match. And the Bob side, right? That was better, yeah. Yeah, your dad's better. Yeah. It was, because I thought we had lost the previous match. Oh my God, this one, yeah, it's bad. And then, on a compliment. Is the. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure not. Oh, you there and walk out there. Yeah. Something. So you protest. I just wanted to push my
I get it. Yes. It was just on.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's $3.
40. I thought she had that.
First of all,
So I this. Just good enough friends, you know, and we want to see what happens. Yeah, and Surgeon Ann Miller. Absolutely. We went to her daughter's house. I work with every single part.
I've noticed that when you walk through
Well, that's all. She really see them usually like.
I was just wondering the average cash rate was like 4%.
So it was just kind of weird.
Starting to say it's slowly changing. Worse than
But you know, it's. Yeah. Where was
And then, you know, a couple years ago, that was it, right? I don't know, what is it? All of these.
I think that's all restaurants, food, you know, yes. We don't have to. That's all I do. We don't have one.
Yeah, I know. Okay, thanks. I guess it's great. And yet it's great. I'm gonna go with it. I'm sure it's very. Yeah. Well, yeah, I can make sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard this book. No, only the house. Nothing close. Are you doing it dinner time?
So we got it.
That one. Every year, watch 30 years. She's a number. But I'm just. Yeah, he was very serious. The sense of humor.
No, but I didn't know. Yeah, well, yeah. No, I don't want to hear this. Yeah, I have some points.
Yeah, I love the first year in college. I don't work, but no, I didn't. That's great.
Was it right now? Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be very good.
Chairs are giving more.
Where's your obligation?
Yes.
Weeks, 2 weeks.
I would do the same thing. I was cold almost every day. Oh, that's right. Somebody had to call me. I don't mind. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of responsibility. I mean, I got the administration, there, all of it. Stuff, so you kind of always got to be on call. Yeah, we do, yeah. I don't mind. There's, the biggest one I did was just the state of I did a bunch of yeah, yeah. New family, with them.
So like to catch
That's one thing you missed.
Yeah.
But this isn't bad. I'm going to do it, I'll get all of it.
I think we need to.
So Greg went up
Don't worry, they've got more shit out of
Like me and her, once a year. This year we didn't do our just one trip. But that's the kids drive there. So go to Georgia, leave early on the. We leave early, drive to Georgia, 12 hours, stay overnight, and we all have to do 4 hours, and then we have to stay back. But they love that. Shows and stuff. Like they don't have people leave like they go. They love watching like the Ghost Adventures and like all that stuff. They like watching like the Ghost Adventure TV show. Oh yeah, and stuff like that. They just enjoy it. So the band had like a lot of like that type of, you know, atmosphere. So they have like a horny ghost tour where my daughter's 12 or 13. And so we actually ended next to that. We're gonna drive down to Georgia, stay the night, and spend one whole day. And I got this goes where you can take a trolley and go all around for 3 hours, and they show you like the wanted spots and the spots. They have actors that come on the trolley and like talk about like this is haunted, this character, and then it ends up at a pirate's house for dinner. They're really excited about that. So the next thing I'm surprised with that. I was making fun of sit there watching shows. I teach from that all the time. I knew that they shut down.
I don't care.
Not that.
Yes. So much, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Save you some money. We got, it's a lot, you know. What about you can either do one day at one park, or one day hopper pass, all parks on the second day.
Yeah, yeah, so you got, me and my wife got season passes. So we did that a couple years ago, it's worth it, you know, that's when you get your discount and stuff.
One day for a hopper.
It's those rules are actually like only like when COVID hit, only do one park. Don't start popping at all. That changed. Then they made it where you could switch park, but only after like 4 o'clock or something like that. And you can only do it. That's what happened. Now it's they go back to the like you just go anywhere you want at any given time.
Here, circle and after. Yeah, probably the same practice. Oh, the things are. I know, it's gonna be very nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Disney is like, you know, everyone wants to stay on the monorail. You know, 2 people for, so I guess to that, if you stay at the right level, like hard, then get a person, she stays, she stays there, and then she fireworks all that. So it's like, the Skyliner now, so we still have to play the thing. Art animation and top of the century, like those ones, they're more moderate price and they're really nice. And have the skyline, where you can get like most of the parks through the skyline. Which is north of the monorail and is good. So we saving up money right now. Yep.
Yeah. Not bad. Also has parking area. It looks
Okay, we're gonna start back up. Thanks for your patience. We're fairly close to time. Thank you. Okay, next item is approval of the minutes, July 10th, 2024, council business minutes. Make a motion to pass it July 10th.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Trying to talk faster.
Yeah, what were we on? I'm sorry.
We're the minutes. I seconded.
Thank you. Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Approval of July 10th executive session minutes. Make a motion to approve July 10th minutes for executive session.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay, there are no ordinance introductions. There is an ordinance, one ordinance. Adoption, an ordinance amending chapter 5, administration of the boroughs revised. General ordinance to provide public comments and questions during the council meetings. I want to make a motion to open the hearing for the. I'm sorry. There's an adoption here.
Yeah, you have to do
No.
open to the public first.
Okay, we're going out of order though.
Yeah, he's saying public comments for the.
Public comment.
Comments on the agenda.
Number 9 on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw, I just did
We're right
it.
by that. I'm sorry.
Flying ahead.
So sorry. My apologies. I thought you were talking about the adoption.
We do.
Yes, I'm sorry. Public comments on the agenda. Any public comments on the agenda? Yes.
Thomas J. Delaney, 612 Third Avenue, resolution 2024-86, introduction to 2024 budget in title only. I would, as a resident, you can't vote for this. The annual financial statement for 2023 was due on March 30th. It's confirmed by the clerk's office. There is not a copy. The 2023 audit was due July 1st. There is no 2023 audit been presented. I don't know what foundational documents are being used to create this alleged budget, but you can't do it without these documents. So I do want to say that, and I would hope that you will listen. I appreciate the fact that the placement of the general election ballot will be done for changing the form of government. I'd be a proponent of that. I would like to congratulate Norm Goldfarb for being the new emergency management coordinator, as I wasn't really impressed with Leonard Galita, who was the previous emergency management coordinator. So I think we're really taking a step up. So thank you very much, folks.
Thank you. Yes.
Pam Olin, 302 Fourth Avenue. I agree with TJ that I was hoping that you were not going to vote on the budget or agree to introduce the budget when it doesn't make sense, given the circumstances, unless things have changed since last week. As it relates to the budget, at our last meeting, you said it was the first time you were talking to the mayor, so you can I'm speaking, so if you can look.
Yeah, I can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, I know you're wasting time, but at our last meeting, you said it was the first time you were hearing about the 222,000 budget gap from the reporting tabs that council received and had questioned months ago. I am being careful to correctly quote the amount, since I misspoke the amount at the last meeting when I asked why the council was never provided with an answer as to why such a large discrepancy. It's now been 2 weeks. Have you been able to provide council with the answer to their question? And if not, can you please do so now? I'm sure that the public that you serve is very interested to know the answer. And council, can you please provide an example, no matter how complicated, of another question that has been asked, but that you have not been provided a response to regarding the budget? Why have we not held the CFO accountable for answering questions about the budget for our elected officials? He is our employee and our council is elected to represent all of the people of this town and not just beholden to the mayor. That's you, Mr. Mayor. If the CFO is not doing his job when dealing with public servants, why do we continue to waste our money on paying for his fees or salary? And I ask the same question as it relates to budget money regarding the third-party union negotiator that we hired that has held our union employees hostage on their contract. I don't know how much time I have to repeat the questions. I'll go back. I'm waiting for an answer on it, especially the $222,000. It's been 2 weeks.
Yes, and
Kristen brought that to your tech. You said it was the first time, but she had said it everything else.
it's the first time I heard that number. I'm sorry. But yes, I responded in writing to Smalley, yes.
He responded in writing, but
What's the answer? Yeah.
There was a
I
response.
don't really need the answer. I think you guys have the answer because we elected you to do the job and you can't do the job if you don't have the information.
There was a response in writing. It did not answer the question.
So we're same place as we were 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before that, 2 weeks before that. We all have estimated tax bills that are due on August 1. That I have to pay unless I want to have a 15% penalty. Crazy, right? Do you guys have any other examples? I mean, we're all here today, a bigger group today. Like Kristen was great last week. I don't care how complicated it is. You can speak in terms that are over my head, but we need examples. We need to understand instead of everybody, other people out there saying, oh, just agree to the budget. I saw a back and forth on social media about that this week, saying you guys were being children. You need to step up to the plate and show that you're not being children and that you have legitimate questions that really should be answered before any vote is cast. You don't just vote to vote. Otherwise, what's your purpose here? I'm not sure if the mayor understands their purpose.
There will be more discussion when we get to that resolution, so that may help answer your question.
Just to point out what is going on, because we're all sitting here dumbfounded with bills in our hands. Any resolution on the CFO meeting with you, talking to you, acknowledging you, participating in our town meetings? He works for us. I see one council member shaking her head. No, no, no. It's embarrassing for everyone here because he's our employee and he's not doing his job. When I worked at a company, if somebody didn't do their job week after week after week, month after month after month, they didn't have a job anymore.
He's under the direction of the mayor.
So why does the mayor continue to have him paid for not doing his job? Geez, it must be similar to the police chief where it's just give these people money and they're delinquent in their jobs or their duties or their credentials, whatever. This is ridiculous. Wish I had her job. You don't have to show up. Am I in 5 minutes yet? Because I have no answers to my questions.
This is supposed to be comments on the agenda, not questions.
I'm asking legitimate questions that the public is interested in. Not one person in this room that does not want to hear the answers.
Yes.
Nancy Meadow, Ocean Park condominiums. Regarding the bill list, we have the same problems. It's kind of hard to default on our bills. You need to step up the plate and change the procedures for purchasing. But it's not just that. Now I've noticed the past 2 bill lists have not showed a fee for our payroll company process or whatever. So that makes me think, yay, do we finally have somebody doing it in-house again? Because that would be the prudent move, or are we just hiding that expense? I can't help but wonder. On page 1, there's an attorney bill for $10.6 thousand. I don't even know what that person does. I've dissected this bill list more than usual. On page 2, we twice purchased bagels from Bagel Time. I am dumbfounded as to why we could not make a purchase of bagels from our municipal business. And I'm not one who supports the municipal businesses, but supposedly our leader, and I put that in quotes, does. So I can only say this comes down to what Ms. Mullen mentioned regarding employees and their capabilities. And what happens when you're not credentialed and you don't go through normal hiring positions and all of that, which is systemic, in my opinion, of every department. Then we have bills from CME, and in June, their representative was here from 6:15 till 10:50. He participated in an executive session from 6:40 to 6:55. And then the public part of the meeting from 8:20 to 9:15. I resent paying someone to be here for all those hours when they were not involved. And whether it's an hourly wage or built into their fee for the ridiculous projects that we're getting ridiculous information on, it disturbs me. We've now paid Mr. Bernstein's firm another $6.5 thousand. I'm still waiting for an answer from the winter. And when is his ceiling cut off? And what has he done for us lately? I did not notice that DPW got a contract. And is that not the labor law? Page 8, we've got file bank, where we store our files, and yet every other request says to me, we have no files. I got one just last week, they told me that. We have no information. What do we put in file bank? I can't even begin to imagine. And is that the euphemism? We don't have it, but you didn't ask if file bank has it? Do I need to go down that road? Because I would kind of think our support personnel is an extension of us, and that would be part of the we. But conveniently, we never have any information. We spent over $900 for cleaning at Staples. Not cleaning supplies, cleaning. I would tend to think that they were for new supplies. That's on page 18. Don't look at me like I'm a wackadoodle, because it's there. You know, I would think our cleaning supplies would be bought at the same place the DPW buys their cleaning supplies. I think we have cleaners that actually do these things. So again, I didn't know Staples were cleaners. And then Web Alliance, get rid of them, stop. It would be better to have no website than this website. I am tired of inaccurate information, which will come in my next 5 minutes, but you keep, the point being, and then all our contracts, copiers, phones, this and that. Has anyone analyzed any of this? Because we seem to have simplified it with Mr. Brown, and it looks to me to be a little much, like, are we paying for contracts that may be ended or some sort of things like that? That needs to be reviewed, and I would think with our volume of employees, someone could conceivably need to do a spreadsheet on all of those things. Just, but if it's not your money, I guess they don't care. Bottom line is, legislate purchase orders. None of this $4,000 bit. No, you cannot buy bagels from out of town unless you don't have a bagel shop. Spend our money wisely. And you don't have money to spend. That's the other thing. How much of this was essential? And what are all these other attorney fees? Now we've got 2 fair housing attorneys listed on the list. I'm speechless, which is unique for me. And I've seen eyeballs that are also saying, I have no answers for her either.
Thank you. Yeah.
Virginia McGuire, 610 Brinley Ave. I'd also like to ask the council to continue voting down the budget. I would like to know about Ms. DeMarco and the CFO. We need these answers. Does she not work here anymore? Does she not
had a family issue today. She could not.
And as far as Mr. Gartz, are we continuing to employ him here without any resolve with the budget information?
Mr. Gartz is our CFO.
Okay, and you're going to continue allowing that if he's not wanting to meet with the council? I'm here, I'm asking the question.
Yeah, they're out of order. Could you just, yeah, you are.
Are you going to continue employing him, being that he will not meet with our council?
Mr. Gartz is our CFO.
So are you going to continue employing him?
You can't answer that question.
You can't.
No, I get asking whether we're going to continue employing and
Are you going
there's no disrespect to you. We just can't.
How about, are you going to allow him to finally talk to the council? Are you going to make him talk to the council? Are you going to make him talk to the council? Are you going to make him talk to the council?
Mr. Gartz would be happy to speak with the council at the budget here,
What budget hearing?
the adoption one.
After we introduce the budget.
Okay, so that's the point. Are you going to allow Mr. Gartz to speak to the council before a budget adoption meeting? So they can get their questions answered?
As I've said before, I'm not the one precluding Mr. Gartz from meeting with the council.
That's my point. Are you going to make him sit with the council and do his job? As his boss, are you going to make him do his job?
Mr. Gartz is doing his job, and you shouldn't really comment on an employee not doing their job.
You're the one that is telling me Mr. Gartz does not want to meet with the council and they are not getting questions answered, which in turn means the residents are not getting our questions answered. So guess what? My taxes pay Mr. Gartz? Are you employing Mr. Gartz and not letting him do his job? Or is Mr. Gartz not wanting to do his job? Which is it? Are you blocking Mr. Gartz from the council, or is Mr. Gartz not wanting to meet with the council?
I have not blocked Mr. Gartz from meeting with the council.
Okay, so he's not meeting with the council on his own terms, and you're still employing him even though he's not doing his job. Is that right?
I'm not going to comment on it. I'm sorry.
This is week after week, Mayor. Like, what is going to change? Tell me what's going to change.
I hope we have an introduced budget time.
Do you have answers for them? Do you have answers for them? Did you answer their questions? Not respond. Did you answer them?
We believe we answered the questions.
And then we get penalized being bullies when we sit up here and deal with this crap. This is like total crap that you feed us every 2 weeks. It's insanity. I had something else. Please vote down the budget.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no other questions, we'll move to number 10. Hopefully we're correct on that now. Yes. Ordinance, there are no introductions. We'll open ordinance 2024-8. Make a motion to open the adoption hearing.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Any comments or questions on adoption of 2024-8? Yes.
I'm Jake Cohen, 612 3rd Avenue. I would like to thank the council for putting forth ordinance 2024-8 to really give the residents the chance to answer questions, to have questions answered. Because this whole use of comments, Mayor Engelstad never even did this. He would answer questions. The council would answer questions. So thank you for codifying it in the ordinance to let everyone in this room know that they can ask questions. And answers should be expected. We should have a BA that's here, not missing 2 meetings in a row. And we should have CFOs here that can ask questions. Answer questions from the council, but also in the public forum for the public. I want to thank you for standing up and getting this ordinance done. And I would hope that you would approve it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there's no other questions. I'll move to close the adoption hearing and make a motion to vote on 2024.
Okay.
Ms. DeNoble?
I also would like to thank the council on this. We do serve the public. That's our job. And we should be taking comments and questions. I welcome questions from anybody and everybody. And to see some people get the answer of be careful or Oprah it versus other people who get detailed emails and answers with numbers, it's not fair. It's about being equal to everyone. Everyone should be equally treated and respected because we serve you. It is my greatest honor to serve the residents of Bradley Beach. And I want to thank you for all being here. And I vote yes. I welcome your comments and your questions.
Mr. Gubatose?
I also have a quick comment to make. A handful of people out there, Zoom, may not fully appreciate what Chapter 5-9 is. It's our rules of procedure, how we,
Can people please silence their phones, please?
the governing body, operate. This particular section of Chapter 5 is focused on what's included in our agenda. For every meeting we have, we follow the same agenda outline. We made a few very small changes to the ordinance in this area of the council rules of procedure. And as it stands today, the ordinance allows public comment at various points on the agenda, as you did moments ago. In the interest of shortening meeting times, Mayor Fox wanted to eliminate public comments. I'm sorry, public questions from meetings and only allow public comments. The rest of this council believes that we serve the public. We must continue to invite comments and questions in order to support transparency and the public's right to know. This is the reason we're amending Chapter 5-9 this evening. I vote yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Mayor Fox refers to this meeting as a borough business meeting. And I agree, it is a business meeting, but the business of the borough is the business of the people. And that includes your comments and your questions. And getting those questions answered also involves having the right people at the table at the right time. This table, that table, and out in the audience. So I wholeheartedly say yes to this. And I also welcome your comments and your questions and look forward to this place and space as a venue to get those questions answered here. Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
I'm going to vote no. On the comment, I guess, and for the reasons that I've stated in the prior two meetings about the length of time of the meetings, it is a business meeting, number one, and number two. People can ask questions during our business hours, and we're happy to answer them. Everybody up here, the 5 people that sit up here, serve the public. I think we all try to be transparent, and I would continue to say that we're going to operate that way. So thank you. Okay, let's move to the next agenda item. There's no communications. Go to resolutions. First, the consent agenda. There are 4 items on the consent agenda. Just give me 1 second. The first is the bill list for July 24th, 2024. 2024 158, 2024 159 is the approval of the appointment for probationary firefighter Ariella S. Minsky. 2024 160 is approval of the on-premises 50/50 cash raffle license for Bradley Beach Elementary PTA for Friday, September 13th, 2024 from 6 to 8. And 2024 161 approval of an off-premise merchandise raffle license for the Bradley Food Pantry for September 7th, 2024. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'm sorry, the consent agenda. I'm sorry.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Individual resolutions, 2024-86, introduction, 2024 budget to be read by title only. Make a motion to approve 2024-86.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Nothing has changed since our last meeting, so therefore my vote doesn't change it either. So it is a no.
Mr. Gubatose?
Well, that's true. Nothing has changed since last meeting, but except for one thing, and I want to mention that to the public tonight. The last meeting that we held, I explained to the public again how the mayor simply presents his budget for introduction at every council meeting. He's now done this for 4 consecutive months. He does this each time without allowing the council access to our department heads or to the CFO. I explained to the public that the mayor has a team that responds, and I'll put quotation marks around the word responds to our budget questions, but doesn't answer, quotation marks, our questions. Tonight, I want people to know that I formally reported the borough's budget impasse to the New Jersey State Department of Community Affairs, the DCA, and to the New Jersey State Office of the Comptroller. I did so in a 5-page letter to these agencies last Friday, and I copied Mayor Fox and my council colleagues. In my letter, I described many of the same concerns that I share twice a month with you, our public. I highlighted the last 2 years of financial mismanagement that has led to a $1.6 million drain on our surplus. I shared examples of the borough's financial ineptitude that were highlighted in our recent 2022 audit. I communicated that our 2022 annual financial statement misrepresented our cash on hand as of 12/31/22. We, the borough, identified to the DCA that we had cash on hand of $7.2 million. The audit, delivered a number of months later, confirmed that the cash on hand was actually $4 million. We confirmed to the DCA 7.2 million when we in fact had 4 million. You know, that's not a rounding error. How could our 2023 finance department provide such grossly inaccurate reporting to the state DCA? And finally, I shared concerns that our finance department recently raised related to our 2023 financial records. With all of this clear evidence of financial mismanagement, how can this council not ask questions about the accuracy and appropriateness of the current budget? I closed my letter to these state agencies by asking, can any, and I capitalize the word any, can any agency or authority within the state of New Jersey please encourage Mayor Larry Fox to honor his commitment, to honor his fiduciary responsibility to our citizens? That was my question. And I say to all of you, figuratively and literally, this whole situation does not add up. And I vote no.
Ms. Mahoney?
If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Let's say you make $100,000 a year. You have various bills to pay and certain variable expenditures like gifts, dining out, groceries, and even gas for your car. You need to put a budget together every year. Wouldn't the first place you start be to find out how much you spent the previous year? Simply put, your appropriations for the year for which you are trying to budget would be based on your expenditures for the previous year. That would be your starting point from where your adjustments would be made. It wouldn't matter how much you appropriated for the year before. It would only matter how much you had actually spent the year before. Last week, I explained how the 3 funds that comprise our budget did not sum to the 2024 admin recommended budget of $16,055,417. I'm going to not use cents because it just gets too complicated. Yesterday, late afternoon, this council was given a new budget. And the 3 numbers for the current beach and sewer funds all changed. Yet they don't add up to the $16,055,417 recommended budget for 2024. The number was $100,000 closer, but it was still off by $100,000. According to our finance team, in 2022, our expenditures were $14,714,603. Our 2022 audit shows that our actual audited expenditures were $166,260. That's a $1.5 million difference. $1.5 million. There are huge discrepancies with what our admin systems reports we spent and what we actually did spend. To create our 2024 budget, we are not using actual 2023 expenditures. We are using what we appropriated for 2023. $15,804,183, which is less than what we spent in 2022. We still do not have the detail behind the numbers for 2024. What we received are explanations why it's not important that the numbers we have don't add up. We still don't have any revenue numbers for any year. In any balanced budget, expected revenues should equal expected expenditures. We are on our third set of revised budget numbers, none of which include concerns from this council, e.g. the cost of the DPW, I shouldn't say DPW, the DPW dispatcher's clerical contract, the loss of 2 DPW workers, and the impact that that might have on services going forward. We still have no access or communication with the CFO that we hired, and it's becoming increasingly evident that our system, Edmunds, that feeds our expenditures, appropriations, and revenues is broken. We've depleted our surplus over the past 2 years, and it's in the offing this year to deplete it further by $600,000 to pay regularly occurring costs associated with running the borough. Mayor Fox has stated that he is confident in the state form document and that it is a validated worksheet received from the state. The form itself may be a validated worksheet. However, I cannot speak to the numbers within that document. Any form is only as good as the numbers inputted. Mayor Fox has referenced to summaries in this form, and this council has repeatedly asked for detail underlying those numbers. We have not received those, or the numbers we have received do not match those summaries, as indicated by my example during the meeting on July 10th, 2024. Additionally, after claiming his confidence in the document, most of the numbers changed yesterday. I will not vote on this budget. My answer is no.
Mr. Weber?
A couple of years ago, we changed the auditor, unfortunately, that we had. And one of the reasons that was given that the old auditor at the time was not good is that, I'm not saying this is true, but there's a claim that they put out a public document and the numbers didn't add up. Based on what my colleagues are saying here, there's a lot of numbers that don't add up. But unfortunately, there's nobody to change, so I will just simply vote no.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay, next agenda item is 162. Thank you. 2024-162. Before I go to 2024-162, I want to go back to 2024-159. Is Ariella here?
She could make it.
Okay, I saw Ron. I just didn't know if she was here. Okay, I was just going to congratulate her if she was here.
Appreciate it.
2024-162, appointing Norman Goldfarb as Bradley Beach Emergency Management Coordinator. Make a motion to approve 2024-162.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
I have to give a speech because I saved stuff. And I saved a DVD recording of a council debate or something like that from 2008 or 7. It was a long time ago. And people should know that Norman sat up here and he was on the council for a long time. But in reviewing that old council debate, I got reminded, before he sat up here, he had these skills that we are hiring him for now. He's done this job in other towns, and I vote yes, and thank you, Norman, and welcome.
Mayor Fox.
Yeah. I would echo that. Norm's got a very impressive resume. He's captain of police in Jackson, captain, right?
Sure.
Retired, also in the military, and has done a great job for us in OEM as first deputy, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so. We met last week and talked. I think the chief and Norm are going to continue to meet and ensure any any improvements we can make. So we're very happy about that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations again. 2024-163, authorized the placement upon November 5th, 2024 election ballot. Question of asking voters whether or not they wish to establish a charter commission to study it to possibly recommend changes to the borough form of government. Make a motion for 2024-163. Sorry.
Second.
Ms. Noble?
I'm saying yes, very few towns still have this form of government, and I think we are really ready for a change, so I vote yes.
Mr. Gutierrez?
I'll come at it from a slightly different angle, not necessarily disagreeing with the council president, but I think what's really important is that we, the borough council, by approving this, are putting the power in the hands of the people to decide. Whether or not I personally agree with this form of government is irrelevant. As a resident, I'll be voting just like the rest of you to determine whether or not this is the right form of government for Bradley Beach. And with that, I vote yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Good point. Thank you.
Something, certainly something we should examine, so yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
I'll vote yes. So now we'll move to mayor and council reports. I can start it off. We continue to be clicking pretty well for the summer months since Memorial Day and through July 4th and beyond. We've seen enormous success at our two ends of town, our bookends, that being the beachfront and Main Street. My understanding on the Main Street side is that business is up on a number of our businesses, and Main Street is busy, so that's good. We certainly know that the beachfront has been very, very busy. Thanks to all our municipal employees, our business owners, and our volunteers that have made this success possible. This Saturday, we're going to continue with Riley Park concert series. So we have the Moroccan Sheep Herders. Tomorrow night, we have Sam Furman and the Good Season on the beach. I spoke to our fire department leadership on the topic of the remembrance of the Brindley Inn fire in 1980 that took place in 1980. This Friday, after a brief discussion in the fire hall, which would just be among the fire volunteers, members of the company will lay a wreath in Riley Park at the memorial site in remembrance of the event. They're going to try to do that right around sunset, which is just about 8:15 on Friday. It'll be a short remembrance. They are planning a bigger event next year at the 25th anniversary. On a bit brighter note on the fire company, they're hosting their annual 5K race on August 17th. So I just ask anybody who'd like to participate or know somebody who could participate. This is one of their big events and fundraisers for the company. So we ask you to try to, if you can't participate, certainly you can contribute. The 2024 National Night Out is scheduled for Tuesday, August 6th. Each year, our police host a great event that brings out the entire community in a unifying fun night that promotes police community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie to make our neighborhood safer and more caring places to live. Once again, Sergeant Josephine Solaro will be in the lead. It starts at 6 p.m. I think it's between 2nd and 3rd Avenue Promenade. And the last 3 years, I gotta believe we've had 500 to 600 people minimally, and it's a great event. I don't know, Chief, you want to comment on it at all? Or?
Oh, it's on our Facebook page. Like the mayor said, August 6th, 6 o'clock. We'll see us up on the promenade. A lot of tables set up. People giving out helpful information, safety tips, so on and so forth. You know, there's a lot of things for the kids. It's a good night out. It's always a good night out. So everybody's welcome to come. Free food as well.
Free food, that's right. I gotta get hold of Mr. Dukes. And this is a national event. I read somewhere yesterday that it's actually going to more of a global event.
Yes.
Other countries are starting to pick up on this, so it's just great. So again, great event, and hope everybody can come out and be supportive. Mayor's Wellness campaign has a walk on Sunday. I invite you to come to that. It's kind of building a little bit on the Zooming for Wellness that we did in the spring. The topic by Dr. Jeanette Stern is mindfulness in youth. All Bradley Beach residents, neighbors, family are invited. I think this is pretty much out there that the bid packages for the sale of 317, 319 Lorraine are out. The notices are in process. The auction is set for tomorrow. We continue to focus on community improvements, and we'll continue to do that around Main Street, unused asset grants, promenade improvement, Sylvan Lake, and Lake Terrace Park. In terms of recreation, please check website for recreation upcoming activities. One activity on there that I think is being publicized right now is the back to school backpack program that they're going to embark on. I'd ask you to look at their Facebook page and certainly contribute to that. On the library side, there continues to be summer reading for 2024, also on their website, ESL classes on Saturdays, weekly programs, Monday, Thursdays, and most Fridays. Tomorrow, there's a concert called The Sounds of Summer. So it's by a piano and vocalist that will take you through kind of summer's songs. And July 30th, I know it's advertised as a scavenger hunt that has been pretty successful in the last few years. Those are my comments. I'll go to Councilman Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since he and his family are hanging in here, I'm going to congratulate Norman Goldfarb again. We're going to be hearing from you. That's why you're hanging out. They're all gone, but I want to congratulate the lifeguards again. And also congrats to Ella Minsky. And I will say that if Ella Minsky was here, she would undoubtedly be the youngest person in this room. I just want to say, stepping up as a firefighter, and she's already volunteered on our first aid, so leading a great example. I have no idea why she decided to do these things, but nonetheless, great of her to be doing that at such a young age. Speaking of first aid, the first aid report, I will read that, and I have a few other things. For the period ending today, the squad responded to 14 day calls and 13 night calls for 27 calls. 24 were for medical, 5 were for fire calls. There were 3 water rescue requests from the Answers team, 2 motor vehicle crashes. Squad recertified 7 members in CPR AED for the professional rescuers. Congratulations. Okay, the squad requested no mutual aid assistance for this period, and they fulfilled 100% of their assignments. Obviously, they're still looking for volunteers. They offer free training to qualified individuals, applications on the Borough website, and they're accepting applications for a cadet program for people 16 to 18 who are interested in serving the community. I will talk about some other stuff. If anyone has been to the beach this summer, they have probably noticed that there are no ropes in the ocean anymore. This is the decision of our head lifeguard. I think it's a good decision because and you've noticed there's also signs that say there's new flags that swim in between the flags. For a lot of other beaches, if people visit other beaches, this is what they encounter. They encounter swim in between the flags, and the flags are movable. You know, if there's a rip current over here or the guards, it's dangerous. They want the area to be smaller. They can make it smaller with flags. They can make it bigger if it's calm and safe. So I think it's a good change, and I know not everybody likes change or understands change, so I'm just mentioning it, but that is the reason for those changes. Something that we changed a long time ago is that we said your trash cans, you have to put out your trash in trash cans, you can't put out loose bags. And you have to have lids on those cans, and not everybody has gotten the memo. So I think it's worth reiterating here. We did at one time have a moderate problem with seagulls and squirrels and stuff going in cans and making a big mess. So just put that stuff in a can and put a lid on it, and we'll have a nice cleaner town. Speaking of a cleaner town, there is no brush pickup in July or August. Tell your neighbors, this is the time of the year we have the most visitors. We need that street parking. We cannot stand to have a giant pile of sticks in the middle of the road where somebody could park their car. So just remind your neighbor that they can bring it down to the yard, to the DPW yard on the north part of Main Street. And then talk about Fletcher Lake Commission. You know, a while ago, they decided to engage the same company that was engaged by the Sylvan Lake Commission to deal with the geese problem. Sylvan Lake folks raved about this company. They got rid of all the geese. This was fantastic. Everybody was really happy. So Fletcher Lake, they were, you know, probably one of the last lakes around here to do this. But as other towns dealt with their geese, and then as Sylvan Lake dealt with their geese, they probably all ended up in Fletcher Lake. And that was a real problem. I mean, geese droppings it's essentially like pouring fertilizer into the lake, and it's really bad for the health of the lake. It can cause conditions that can make fish, cause fish to die. So, it might be nice to see some geese on the lake and stuff, but for the water and for birds and things that depend on fish that are in the water and for the fish themselves, it's actually really bad. So they're taking care of that. Yes, the geese temporarily relocated to the beach, not a concern, but our lake's going to be healthier once the geese, we can control and keep the geese population away. So I've got letters of thanks and congratulations from a lot of people that are glad that we finally got around to that. And then I just want to let everybody know that, I did send a message to the mayor offering myself and my services to meet with the administration and the local 152 union. If any meetings like that were going to happen, I'm still available for such meetings, depending on when they are. Just want everybody to know I made that offer and I was not taken up on it. And that is my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilman Weber, I want to say thank you for that information about the ropes, because people had contacted me and said, what happened to the ropes?
I'm sorry, I wanted to make one comment about the ropes.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, last year we had I want to say it wasn't super serious, but a fairly serious cut that somebody got because of the ropes. Fishing line got tied up in ropes and hooks got tied up, ripped somebody's leg. I think they needed stitches and it was not a pleasant thing. So that happened last summer, and it was a very unfortunate situation. And I was going to mention one more reason.
That's good to know too, for the rip ties, because a couple of people had said to me that older people use the ropes to get in and out of the ocean. So this is good to know that, one, it could be dangerous, and two, it's good to move the ropes based on the tides. So now I can get back to people. So thank you for information. Information is so important. Okay. What have I got? Not much. Okay. The Land Use Board met on July 18th. Use of bulk variances for 516 Park Place Ave were approved. Another application for use in bulk variances for 215 Burnley Ave were approved. And another application for bulk variances for 314 Third Ave were approved. I too offered to meet and help along the negotiations for Local 152 and heard nothing back. I'd like to make a motion for a vote of no confidence for Bradley Beach Mayor Larry Fox. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Noble,
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose,
If not, no other reason, solely focused on the impossible to understand budget impasse we dealt with for 4 months, I vote yes.
Ms. Mahoney,
Based on the budget, the DPW negotiations, our lack of communication, I vote yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Fox.
I'll vote no. Thank you.
That's my report.
Thank you, Councilman Gubatose.
Okay, I am the police liaison. I want to thank Detective Lieutenant Browning as usual for a very thorough report, which I will now read. A little of it, let me warn you in advance, will be redundant because I'm also going to talk about August 6th. But in a span of a few days, our police department had 2 car burglaries on Ocean Avenue, very similar in nature. This past weekend, Sergeant Josephine Solaro was closely monitoring the area and noticed a suspicious subject that matched surveillance video from the crimes. Upon making contact with him, he provided a false name and then fled on foot. Sergeant Solaro was able to chase him down as he ran through a nearby backyard and, with the assistance of Patrolman Edwin Hernandez, apprehended him. The subject was arrested and linked to both incidents, ultimately being charged with 2 counts of burglary, 2 counts of theft, and 1 count of resisting arrest. A subject was arrested for driving while intoxicated after striking a parked car, and another local man was arrested on a contempt of court warrant. And now I do just want to add another plug for National Night Out. So if you didn't get it the last time, please jot down the date and time. But Chief Arnold and the police department are looking forward to the annual Night Out event, which will be held on Tuesday, August 6th, excuse me, August 6th on the promenade between 3rd and 5th Avenues from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I have another paragraph, Detective Lieutenant. I'm going to skip the rest of it because I want to make sure everybody knows August 6th, 6 to 8 between 3rd and 5th Avenues. Please be there. The event is free for all residents. I'm the liaison for the Sylvan Lake Commission, and the Sylvan Lake Commission met last Wednesday, July 17th. The focus continues to be on improving the overall health of the lake. Guest speakers included the engineering team responsible for much of the living shoreline development on the Avon side of the lake. The name of that engineering firm is Matrix. They discussed potential funding sources for future restoration work, with the ultimate goal continuing to be how to best dredge the very shallow Sylvan Lake. Next month, on August 21st, the commission will meet again, and the environmental experts will attend who have been developing plans for dredging and for the funding of the dredging of the lake. I also want to welcome Ariella Minsky as our newest member for probationary firefighter for Bradley Beach Fire Department. Rana did recognize the last name and is also very excited to see it. So thank you, and of course your daughter. I also want to make a quick comment about our new emergency management coordinator. Congratulations, number one, to Norman. Most people, if not everyone now knows, Norman has been a former council member and newly appointed borough's emergency management coordinator. But with your lengthy track record, Norman, of experience, we appreciate the skills and knowledge that you bring to this position. Thank you for your continued service to our community. And then finally, I'm going to keep saying this every week, every meeting, I should say, but regarding Local 152, there's still nothing constructive that anyone can say about the lack of progress made by our administration in finding a fair contract solution for this organization. Our employees in this union have gone without a contract and a pay increase for 1.5 years. The union is now openly challenging the mayor's reporting of this situation. Last week, each council member separately requested the mayor to allow any one of us a seat at the table, as was previously encouraged by former Mayor Engelstad. This broken process makes no sense. Again, I ask Mayor Fox, please allow any one of us sitting here next to you to join the bargaining process. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Bradley Beach Elementary School Board of Ed held a special meeting last week and approved an adjusted budget for the 2024-2025 school year. Last year, we saw a 2% tax decrease. Unfortunately, Bradley Beach Elementary School has faced a loss of $449,831 in state aid. Therefore, the Board of Education approved raising the tax levy to 4.33%. For residents, this translates to an average tax increase of $10.95 per month. It should be noted that the the total allowable tax levy increase for the Bradley Beach School District was not fully utilized, demonstrating their commitment to fiscal responsibility for our community with responsible budgets with high audit ratings and providing needed services for the children at Bradley Beach. Tourism. Let's see what we have here. There wasn't a meeting for the shade tree, so I don't have a report for them. The Tourism Commission held a meeting on July 17th to review the summer's events, promotions, and success. The commission discussed the upcoming events, including Viva Bradley Beach, scheduled for September 14th, 2024. The tourism director, Amy Hall, has secured 2 bands, multiple vendors, and is looking forward to a salsa performance with lessons in the park. And tomorrow, the songwriters on Newark Avenue Beach continue at 7 p.m. DJ J returns on Friday night, and on Saturday in the park, the performance will be the Moroccan Sheepherders and should be a great time. That concert is from 5 to 7 p.m. And as always, the commission urges both residents and visitors to visit our small businesses in town by bringing a picnic to the event, shopping before, grabbing dinner and drinks after the show. As of this morning, there was $81,000 in the tourism trust. And that completes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to public comments. Are there any public comments? Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm here to report that, I had in my notes tonight that I was gonna ask for some clarification on those lawsuits that have been brought up by one person who's attended the meetings for the last couple of times. But I'd rather, although that is so important to clarify that with residents, I want to make sure there's no misconception on why there's these lawsuits costing us money. I go back to the budget because it's all tied in. Everything we do at this meeting, everything we do in this town, every decision that is made costs money, affects our budget. So Kristen, I applaud you again. You came prepared with an example. It was very detailed. I could not take all those notes, but I'm assuming that everything you said resonated with the mayor because he should know the budget if he's voting yes to go forward with the budget. So I would ask if the mayor, if you disagree with Kristen in any way, you could give clarification on it, maybe prove Kristen wrong on what she delivered to the public tonight in what we thought was in our best interest. But if there's something that you can refute as far as what she said, we're all ears because we don't understand what your side is. We only hear the council being concerned that they can't get the answers to their questions. And Kristen laid it out beautifully tonight. And I'd ask if you have anything to add or refute on that, that could put our minds at ease that maybe there's something good about the budget that you are proposing. It seems to be a mystery to the council. Are they not doing their jobs?
Yeah, the budget that we've submitted, it's about a 3.39% increase. It's fairly consistent to last year's spend levels. We have some level of austerity in there also. I think it's a good budget. The state forms that we provide detail that. We can share that once the budget's introduced with the public. Public can study that and ask any questions that they have.
I'll go back to the question. So Kristen beautifully, in less than a minute, was able to lay out the concerns. Is there anything that you can refute with what she said? I just heard you say, oh, it's a 3.39%, which is consistent with last year. How is that when she had all of those questions, doesn't know what the spend was to compare it, or has said what the spend was? I forget all the things you said, but what the spend was doesn't make sense for what's being proposed for this year. You're doing it based on numbers that are appropriated versus what was spent. So you just used the word, it's based on last year's increase. That doesn't make sense to me based on what Kristen said. I may not be making sense here, but I need you to refute what Kristen said.
I submitted some responses to Councilwoman and, on her questions.
How come
Whether
she
she
just
accepts those or
delivered what
not,
she
that's-
just said
that's
to
up to
the
her.
public? If she has her answers. If you gave her answers, can you tell us what she said that was wrong? Nothing else matters that you guys do except the budget. The wellness,
I would
all that,
dis- I would
because
disagree with
everything
that.
costs money that you do.
Correct.
Right. So Kristen laid out some figures and gave some good examples again tonight that make us all very uneasy in this room. And I don't know if your constituents are aware, you just say to them, oh, it's gonna be the same as last year.
I didn't say that. I said it was consistent, the line items were consistent.
But it's on what's appropriated versus what was spent. That's what I heard Kristen say. That's not how you do a budget. I'd really like for you to refute what Kristen said. Tell me something different. You have any concern about what Kristen said? That it was misinformation?
As I said, I responded to Kristen in writing in a fairly
The
detailed.
public doesn't have that, and Kristen will not do that presentation if she had her answers.
You responded to me, and then all your numbers changed last night.
The budget changed by $245. Pass to pass. Thank you.
Someone's not doing their job.
$245?
From the last, there was just a couple of adjustments to the interest that Ricky made. Yeah, yes. Ms. Chief.
Good evening, Ron Minsky, 706 Lorraine Avenue. I'm also the fire chief of Bradley Beach Fire Department. First, I want to thank the mayor and council for welcoming my daughter Ariella into the fire service.
If you don't mind me asking,
Yes.
how old is she?
She's 18.
18. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thank you for giving her the opportunity to serve the borough as I have for the last 20 years. Also want to take a moment to congratulate Norman Goldfarb on his appointment. Norm and I have known each other for about 20 years now as both friends and colleagues. I have the utmost respect for Norman. We've always worked well together, and I look forward to serving alongside you again. The other issue I wanted to bring up is at the last borough meeting, there was mentioned during the public comment of an incident involving one of my firefighters. That alleged incident was brought to my attention the day after it occurred. And I wanted to assure the mayor and council, I wanted to assure the residents that swift action was taken as soon as the matter was brought to my attention. The member was removed from duty pending the adjudication of the matter. I know the mayor and council, the residents, they count on us for our service, for our integrity. And as the fire chief, it's important to me that that the mayor, the council, and the residents of the borough have confidence and trust in the work that we do. So I just wanted to assure everyone that action was taken, and we'll readdress it once the matter is adjudicated. Also, I just have one request that that my email, firechief@bradleybeachnj.gov, be added to the borough website, so that in the future, going forward, if any resident has any questions or concerns involving the fire department, that they can email me personally, and I will respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, that's right. Nancy Meadow, Ocean Park condominiums. I failed to mention before when I was talking about bagel talk. I find it contradictory. I would probably say an oxymoron almost. Mayor's Wellness City would give carbs. Just again, another thing of how things start at the top here and filter down. I would like to personally thank Councilwoman Mahoney for showing up. I'm well aware, thank you for missing one meeting, but I'm well aware that you also have personal things going on. And yet you seem to find the time to volunteer for us. So thank you very much. If I've not given out too much personal information there. Interesting that Brielle and Wall taxes went down. I know that because I just paid some tax bills. I'm concerned about the church bid that was given out to local developers before it went to everyone. I find that unfair advantage. On July 12th, 10 newsletters were posted on the website all at once. Is this good management of a website and communication? Not to me, that's a rhetorical question. I definitely don't want an answer. I'm still waiting on Oprah reports, answers to email. I don't like electronic signatures. I don't know why people can't sign documents. There's signs out front that says employees parking. Till 4. When does it begin? Or when can we park until? I mean, before. But really, again, I wish Mr. Miller here because he knows what we do with signs. I don't know if we have walkways, promenades, or boardwalks, but as we reduce signs, can we get them all to say the same thing? I'm big one for consistency. And then we have employees. It is my understanding what I was approached by an employee this week. I don't know why. I was minding my own business. But it's my understanding that we spent a lot of money on job descriptions and an employee handbook. And I think it would behoove managers, which would include chief of police, and I took these titles from the website, which we know is accurate. Chief of police, beach manager, and lifeguard chief, to read those items and filter down the information, because perhaps then everyone could do their job correctly. So apparently on June 22nd, I think that's the date, my street was not patrolled because we have no records. I would think that a beach manager, that I would not see gate guards blasting music and not using earbuds when beachgoers have to use earbuds, which was tastefully added to the sign. So I also don't understand why they have to then write all over the sign, not the daily information, but other information. Doesn't belong there. The signs look tacky and it's not necessary. And I would tend to think that the lifeguard chief would instruct those employees that their job, along with his, is to guard the water and the people in it. Doesn't extend to other things. And there's other department heads also. Again, why did we pay for all of this legalese if we don't implement it? Oh, and now that we have somebody new in charge of OEM, what I'd like to call our cooling center, which really is technically a reception center. We've had 3 heat waves. I saw nothing posted on our website regarding its potential use. It would be so refreshing to take some sort of step forward. Again, I know you, 4 of you can only legislate. I got a list here. Do you think the people on Zoom would like to know who's sitting here? Who's out here that's getting a stipend? I don't think so.
Thank you. Yes.
Jake Colan, 612 Third Avenue. Mayor, can you tell me when the 2023 AFS will be available to the public? It was due March 30th.
I do not know. I know that the CFO is working with the auditor on it right now, and they're close to completing it. I know that. And
What, we've heard that before. What about the 2023 audit that was due July 1st? When will we be getting that?
that won't happen until the August timeframe.
For the August timeframe. So you're saying that the numbers are consistent with 2023, but you don't have the base numbers to compare for consistency.
For purposes of the budget, the numbers, those numbers were provided by the CFO and reviewed by the auditor.
Well, I don't know if you looked at the 2022 audit against the 2022 AFS. There was a substantial difference in irregularity. We really can't trust that. What we have to trust is a real number in a real document that we were due on March 30th. This office, really, it's ridiculous. And now those sheets that you showed, those spreadsheets, and you said, after the budget's approved, we can look at these spreadsheets. Well, Gary Engelstad shared those forms with us right through the process. We got the spreadsheets, 800 line items. We could read them. People from the public could say, oh, now I see how my checkbook works. I see that. But now to hold them back, I mean, this is like, you know, it's like Washington, D.C. Vote for the bill and we'll let you read it later on. It's not fair. It's not fair to us at all. I'm hoping that this can be resolved, and I'm waiting for that outside agency. Please, DCA, please, Comptroller's Office, please, somebody. It's getting absurd. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. You just state your name and address.
My name is Maureen Borden, and I live at 404 Third Avenue. I'm here tonight to talk about the problems with the foxes in Bradley Beach. We had a problem last year with them, and the mayor and the police department were very, very helpful to us last year. I understand you were under contract last year with Tin Falls Humane Society. Just to give you some background, within a week they caught 4 foxes in our backyard. All of them were very sick with mange. I don't know if anybody here loves animals, but it is not harming the animals, that trapping them. They do is they take them and they bring them to a clinic and they get them assessed. If they are healthy, then they turn around and relocate them. If they're sick, they give them treatment. These 4 were severely sick last year. Mange will cause organ damage, and it's very, very painful and suffers. Anyway, this year we had a problem worse than last year. This year we have a back house, and one of the people in the back house was walking down the driveway, and a fox chased her into a car and kept circling the car, wouldn't let her out of it. I have 4 grandchildren that play in the backyard. I also witnessed next door to me, a lawn care gentleman was doing his lawn care, and fox came down our driveway and chased him into his car. I went through the whole procedure. I know what it is. I called Lewis from last year at Tinton Falls. They said we're not under contract anymore. I looked into it on November 8th of last year. This council changed, and they now are in contract with the Monmouth County SPCA. We have them this week, and I'm just calling to give you input. Please look into it. They are not affected at all. They don't, and I know, May, I know, and I've spoken to the police chief. Thank you very much. He was been very helpful. But I just want to tell you what's happening. They don't open the cages. They have 2 on our property. The day the woman came to witness she was going through the bushes and a fox jumped right at her, and it was 12:30 in the afternoon. We see them on our property 8, 10, 12, 2 o'clock, all day, all night. She told us that day, we don't leave the cages open at night. And my husband said to her, that's when you're going to catch them. She said, we close them by 8 o'clock. She was there 7 o'clock that night to close the cage. The next day she came back. My husband said, you going to
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but did she say why they closed the cage?
She told me the first night that she would have people there 24/7. That's what Tim Falls did. They came out in the middle of the night if we caught one in the middle of the night. She told me they did that on Monday. But she said they don't like to leave the cages open at night because they don't want the animals in them too long.
Got it.
But then Tuesday, she told me that they had trail cams hooked up to these cages, and that as soon as a fox would go into it, they would get notified, they would get a text, and they would be out during the night. So my husband said, well, you're gonna leave it open tonight? She said, yes, that was Tuesday. By 8:30 that night, the cages were still open, so we went in our house. The next morning at 7 o'clock, we noticed they'd been closed. Somebody came during the night and closed them. This morning I got up, 7 o'clock they were closed, 8 o'clock they were closed, 9 o'clock. Finally at 10 o'clock I called her and I said to her, when are you gonna open the cages? So we're not gonna open them today because it's supposed to rain. And I said to her, what if it doesn't rain? And it didn't rain. But she said, well, we don't like to have them open if it rains. So I said, well, you close them at night. You don't open them during the rain. You're not gonna open it all day today. How are we gonna catch them? The one fox we have 3 to 5 now that are always in that property. One has mange, there's no doubt about it. And she saw that and she knows it. And I said to her, well, just come trap them. Plus, I don't want my grandchildren there. They were out the one afternoon playing and the fox came right between the 4 of them, right in the backyard. So today, like I said, I don't know. Oh, and they came eventually. I said to you, you've got to come here. They had the same bait there since Monday. I said, you have to do it right. And I kept saying, I thought she was from Tinton Falls. I kept saying Lewis, Tinton Falls. I think they were angry that I kept saying that or like them better. All I'm asking you is please look into it. I know they have their own set of rules and the chief police has been very informative with me, but it's not effective with pegging them. They're not, and they took the cages away. I was sitting on the porch with a friend of mine and a gentleman came up in the Monmouth County truck. And I said, oh, thank you for coming back. I thought he was checking on him. And he said, have you talked to Scott? And I said, no. And he said, I was told to come back and get the cages. And I said, oh. And he went in and Scott had called me and he said, please call me. He's the manager of the facility. I called him back. He wasn't at his desk. I left the message and I came out and I said to the, and he said, I don't know why. So, but please look into it.
We are. I know the chief and the pro administrator.
Thank you.
Why did we change from what we had last year?
That's what I'm curious about.
It was cheaper,
It was cost.
but I've heard a lot of complaints.
There you go, yeah.
Okay, there's no outside questions. I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The other one.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for your service.
Thanks.
You weren't there all much. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.